P Policy, Volume 1, by Sovereign Jane Jenkins. A story and self-help book on setting boundaries and maintaining self-respect. Chapter 1, Introduction. As I sat across from my pseudo-sugar daddy Carter quietly as he read the news on his phone, one question kept cycling through my mind. I studied him intently while sitting in bed. Carter was exactly twice my age at 50. I knew he was sitting on a wealth of knowledge and wisdom. I wanted to know the big secret that only men knew. "What did you mean by that question you asked me yesterday?" I asked intently. "What question?" he said, looking up at me, pausing to read the article on his phone. "The question about my pussy policy," I asked, digging into his psyche. He seemed to laugh out loud at my naivete. I wasn't joking, and the question was far from funny. "Baby, listen," he said as if I were a child. "Most women don't have any standards or boundaries, and they let men run through them like a marathon." He paused momentarily. "You see, a hospital has a policy in place for staff to protect the hospital in case the staff strays from the policy and coincidentally cause a near miss or a sentinel event to the patient. Whether it was done through sheer ignorance or purposely, the hospital is still not at fault. So the staff will face the consequences regardless, right?" he said as his eyebrow quirked my way. I nodded, not knowing exactly where he was going with this train of thought. If a hospital has a bylaws to protect themselves, why don't most women? Women have more to lose as an individual than a corporation. They can catch every STD in the book. They can get pregnant. They can be used and abused, yet they still let the average Joe with half a brain emotionally destroy them and piss on their self-esteem, he continued. I continued to gawk at him, feeling uneasy. Those women whom he was referring to were once me, so I kept my mouth slammed shut. Why? Because they have no boundaries or a system of self-governance to protect themselves. Many women are lost and rely on a monthly child support check from a dude who wants nothing to do with them, but they are still chasing that same man while he's dragging them through the dirt, Carter said. "But what does that have to do with me?" I asked. "I was checking to see if you would tell me how to get you going. I wanted you to tell me how to crack your code without doing the work to learn it the hard way. I wanted to see how stupid you were," he said unflinchingly. I blinked at his brutal honesty while he continued to tell the plays from the Player's Handbook. "Men are lazy by nature, after all. We aren't looking for love. We never really have, because we rarely love. We're looking for what purpose you could serve," he said, turning back to his phone after shattering my perceptions about both men and love. "So it was a lie. You never loved me," I said knowingly. He looked up at me once more. "You already knew that. That's why you still haven't given me your pussy policy. I tell you I love you, and you just stare at me silently, knowing I'm full of shit. You're a hard one to crack. At least you're a challenge," he said thoughtfully. I laughed disingenuously. We had both been burned so much that we could read each other quite well. He was right. I didn't love him at all. We were simply using each other. I glanced at the brand new watch he bought me and saw it was nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. Time to rest, I thought, as my head hit the pillow. No more questions were needed. The revelation in my mind was clear. I understood everything I would ever need to know about the game.